So today we're going to look at you're a cracker. So today we're going to look at the Cushcore Pro 29er 270 grams versus the Panzer EVO 29er 100 grams, 100 grams. They're both kind of, when I push into them, they're both kind of similar density. But the Panzer's obviously a lot lighter and made from a completely different material. So the Cushcore seems a little more elastic. You can stretch it and it'll rebound back to its standard position. You can be pretty hard on it without it snapping. I haven't snapped one yet and I've stretched them heaps. When they're new, I stretch them to get them onto the rim. Panzer, if I was to do that, definitely would snap it. I definitely would snap it. Now I've had this in the front. That's no biggie because you're not stretching them in the tyre, so it doesn't matter. This fits snug on the rim. It fit more snug on the rim at the start when I first got it than it does now. It's been in my front for 2 weeks, but it's still snug on the rim. It still fits on the rim snug, so it's not going to give you a lot of bead holding pressure. Definitely not. That's not what it's there for. It's just there for impact protection, and it most certainly gives you heaps of impact protection. If you watched my video yesterday about it, you can see me smashing it into the ground with no air in it. It's perfect. I thought it was going to be less strong. I thought it was going to be tearing up real easy, but it took a heap of hits in the front and it didn't really tear up at all. I've got one tear on it, not too bad. It's like a pool noodly material, so I can peel the stuff off, but it seems like on an impact, it's not that susceptible to tear, which is cool. That was a surprise to me. So that's a good one, for sure. Cushcore fits a little tighter around the rim. This is going to be a little bit tricky to do with the dog sitting there, but we'll get him on there. So a little tighter fit, not by too much, but it definitely does hug the bead a little more. It's like a flatter profile, so it kind of flattens and comes out a little bit more, whereas the Panzer tends to come up a bit more, so less of that bead protection or bead pressure. Not an issue, I don't think, not a big issue. When you flat, you can ride this literally rim rider all the way home, and it's no worries. I've done that. I've had to do that before, and it's not too slow. It's not too bad, and it holds as long as you're not sprinting or braking hard. If you brake hard, it slips. The tyre slips, but it's flat tyres. That's flat tyres for you. The protection is incredible. The protection of the Cushcore is excellent. It's second to none, but it comes with a weight penalty. Like I said, 270 grams, very, very heavy, but very durable and lasts forever. I had one in my patrol for nearly 2 years, and that thing lasted. When I pulled it out, it had some marks on it. In fact, it was less chopped up than this one. This one's got a couple of chops on it. One was a rim destroyer, and the other one, I don't even remember how that happened. So, very good, very robust, definitely the industry standard. The material's excellent. It's not going to take any sealant in whatsoever, but again, comes at a cost, comes at a price for weight. Cost, monetary wise, they're about the same. This was $100. This is about 100. I think they're $230 for a pair. So, 100, 120 bucks each. So comparable for price, but the weight is way better here than this. The Panzer's a lot lighter, and I think it's pretty durable. I'm going to say it's fairly durable. I think it's going to absorb a little bit of sealant, but not a lot. I don't think it's going to absorb much. We'll give that a long term. When I pulled it out, there was still plenty of sealant in the tyre, so that was fine. It's stronger than I thought it would be. So in the front tyre, it felt a little bit choppy. I run 22 PSI in my front tyre, always feels killer. When I put this in and went to 22 PSI, it was a little bit choppy. And I think it's because of the extra volume. So this actually takes up more space than the Cushcore. Even though it's lighter, it's got more physical presence inside your tyre. So I think if I ran a little bit less pressure, I'd get what I wanted out of it, for sure. And what I'm thinking now is, I'm testing the Trek at the moment with new tyres with no inserts, just so I can get a proper feel for the tyres. But what I might do is leave the Cushcore out and put this in the back and see how it fares in the back. Because I don't generally run I usually run a super light or nothing in the front, like a Fetto Mariposa is a really good one. It's like 56 or 60 millimeters wide, fits in your tyre perfect, and it's killer. It doesn't take up any space, and it's good enough to absorb impact. It's kind of like a Hut Norris, I guess. So I'll probably put this one in the back next up and see how it fares in the back. I'll give it a few months or whatever, and put it through a full life of the tyre, or full as much as I can get out of the tyre, and see if it's chopped up, because so far it's surprised me. 29 Enduro DH is what they rate it as, and yeah, I like it. I didn't think I was going to be that into it, but spot on Panzer. Thank you Whippets Workshop for hooking it up for me. Thanks KWT Imports, obviously. They got it to them for me to test. And yeah, same price, heaps lighter, and maybe good long term. Good short term, definitely good short term, but long term is yet to be seen.